going with this.
No, I'm just saying.
It's David Chappelle. I mean,
I'm just wondering.
He's awesome, but
why would he go to Ohio?
Because he wants to get away from people. That's where you go to die.
Yeah, that's true. Florida. That's God's waiting room.
Well, yeah. Florida at least has appeal with some sun. Ohio, there's nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not like.
Now, when is the last time you ever heard somebody besides Chappelle go, God damn it, I want to go to Cleveland. Yeah. I want to go to Ohio.
Dude, I was sitting next to...
I know I'm like, all those people from Ohio and
like Delaware.
Fuck that show, man. But no. Delaware's the same thing, man. It's fucking slower, lower down there, man.
Well, I mean, I grew up in New Jersey, and I get it's a bad rap, right? It's like...
Not as bad as the two we just named.
I think it's bad for
There's
different
more people
reasons.
that live in New York City than live in the whole state of Delaware.
True. But I think, long story short, I got in on Tuesday night. I flew out at 3 o'clock. My flight was an hour and a half on the tarmac. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It wasn't that long. It was delayed. We finally boarded. All in all, everything together was about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes delay. So
that sucks, man.
I get into the whole point of getting in. I'll leave mid-afternoon for any appointments or any meetings I have for the next day. So I'm fresh. Mm-hmm. So I get in. It's like 7 o'clock. Get settled down. No worries. I go to sleep on time. Oh no. Matter of fact, I had to prep a bunch of stuff, so I wound up having to stay late. And I'm like hypercritical about some of the stuff that I'm doing. And so,
as you always are.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
You're hypercritical about this show, so I can only imagine what you do for your real job.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And so it's like, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was finally like, all right, I'm wrapping this up. So I wrap it up after traveling. Traveling just wears you out.
It does. It does. Whether you're going to the beach or flying somewhere, it's just exhausting.
And flying sucks.
Yeah, especially if you're not flying like first class or economy.
Yeah.
You're flying fucking coach. You're just like squeezed in between two people, or it's just not comfortable. It's the weight, standing there.
Yeah,
and it's pretty much just waiting.
The anxiety of missing your flight, like tripping up anywhere along the way.
Yeah.
Forget your license, drop your bag somewhere. Anything that could jam you up. You got critical information.
I just want to have a barcode on my fucking arm. And just scan me, dude.
Yeah.
This is who I am. Fuck it.
I want it to be like
a chip. I put my finger in, it just bings me.
Done.
Done. Yeah. Why do we got to go through all this hassle?
Why is your thumbprint good enough for your phone that has all your information?
Yeah.
And you can't thumbprint your way through security.
I don't know.
Although
those tickets I got for the game this weekend, there's no barcode. There's no barcodes on them, man.
No?
I'll show you real quick. Hold on. I know we're doing a pod, but this takes 2 seconds because it's in my my wallet. And last year, that's it. That's it. There's no barcode.
What if you swipe? Is that just each one of the tickets?
I swiped each one of the tickets.
So this is the Eagles.
See, it
Seattle
says go
game.
near the reader. Go near the reader.
It's NFC, man.
Yeah, it's it.
So they got the barcode chip that's going.
Yeah, see the thing down there at the bottom? That's it.
Shit. That's good, man.
Because I had one from last year on there, and it had the barcode like you get the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Barcode's old school now.
Yeah, it's it. It's ancient.
That's awesome. But the thing is, it's like, you get road weary. I always say, like, thank God I'm not like 300 pounds. Like, I can't imagine squeezing my ass into a seat and having a long trip. Like, say you're going to Europe. You're 5.5 hours from Philadelphia to London.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just jammed in there. Or you're tall, or you're just big. Say you're 6'7", and you're trying to, you almost always have to upgrade. But I was saying, like, I was talking to a buddy of mine. I was like, all you have to do, I'd gladly pay an extra $100, $150 a ticket if they took like one row out, widthwise, and like 10 rows out from the back forward.
Yeah, but that's still not going to cover the cost of having those 20, 30 extra tickets.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Of course I'm right.
That's true. You're a smart man.
I'm not always that smart, but it's just dollars and cents, man. It's how these big companies, these airlines are looking at it, because airlines make a lot of money, but they also have a lot of liability, so they got to cover that expense.
Well, it's like, and it's a little greed too.
Oh, totally. I mean, these people wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't worth their while.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen housing developments go up around here, especially when it's like, a farmer that's like, I'm not making as much money as I could. I got a developer over here that's going to offer me retirement type money, and they're going to make mansions, $800,000 McMansions on not even an acre of land.
Yeah.
And they're going to stack them on top of one another. You're going to be able to look across 30, not even probably 50 feet across to your neighbor and take a peek into their bathroom.
Yeah, but just because inside the house is magnificent.
Yes, exactly.
And its location.
True.
It's not like you're going to build those McMansions in Chester and expect the same kind of money.
No, not at all. That's where you'd have to build a wall.
Yeah.
But so fly out Tuesday, do a session on Wednesday, do these 2-day leadership meetings on Thursday, and then today on Friday. And it's just, you get a little spread thin, you get a little crispy around the edges.
I can imagine. I've never did a business trip, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I've done trips for like 4 days over the weekend, but that's usually me, drinking, partying, having a good time. I've never actually gone on a business trip where it's like, you fly in, do your thing, fly back out. Because, I mean, it's, at the end of the day, it's not a trip like where you get to spend time to see things. You're working.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, it's like you're constantly on. Yeah. Like your day starts at, mentally, your day starts when your eyes open.
Because you don't actually come home.
Truth.
That's why you're on.
That's exactly right.
Because you go back to the hotel room, it's a fucking hotel room.
Yes.
You're not 21 years old where this would be cool. We're in our 40s, dude. No, I can say that.
Yes. Now you can.
We're in our 40s. It's like, dude, all I want is my fucking TV and my bed, and that's all I want.
Yeah. And you're not quite settled because, again, you're in work mode.
Yeah.
And you're not home.
Yeah.
It's like I was FaceTiming the Cindy and the boys, and Cindy they taught Noah how to make a fire in the fireplace, and they're just chilling. They're talking about making s'mores and shit like that. Like, as I'm FaceTiming, I could feel the warmth of family in the room. You know what I mean?
You're like, this sucks. I'm sitting in a stupid hotel room.
And it's not even like a shit box. It's a nice hotel. I mean, the company's definitely taking care of me.
But there's no, you can't replace that.
No.
Especially if you're a devoted family person.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't, and they preferred this.
Dude, some people are road warriors, man.
And they just like that life, man. And that's more power to them. That's not me. And I'm getting the impression it's not you.
No, I mean, you do it and you hustle because that's your work ethic, right? You knuckle down.
That's the same reason why our buddy's not here tonight.
Yes, because he's working and he's hustling.
My man, that is dedication.
Yeah, I felt a little bad. I felt like I gave him a little shit on this.
You did. I was going to say that. I was like, damn, John. Shit. Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to put like a fucking LOL after you said, did you talk to Bree?
I got to talk to him.
Hey, you didn't. I'm like, where the hell is the fucking joke there, dude?
I didn't let him off the hook. I feel bad. Sorry, Jamie.
I'm sure he didn't Jamie don't take offense to shit, man.
Good.
You could like blow Jamie up, stick a firecracker in his ass.
Yeah, he's pretty chill.
He's a laid back guy.
Mm-hmm. So what do you say? Let's get this party started.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. I'm John.
I am Nick.
And we are without young Jamie, that
under 40-year-old,
40-year-old hardworking son of a bitch.
That's why he's hardworking.
Yes, he's still got gas in the tank. But we are recording on a Friday. Friday being, this is a special Friday, and the reason why I think it's a special Friday is because it is the third episode of The Mandalorian, and we will get into it.
Oh, yeah, I got 3 episodes to catch up on, brother. And I'm the Star... I mean, we all love Star Wars. I'm not downplaying how much you love Star Wars or Jamie does, but we all know who's... Like, You're the Lord of the Rings.
You're a Star
I'm
Wars
the Star
guy.
Wars, and Jamie's like kind of in the middle with everything.
Yeah. He's Back to the Future. He's Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go there, brother. I wasn't going to go there. I was going to let that hang out there.
But let's get started with a little box office and Ford versus Ferrari. It's
which we both did see.
We both saw last weekend. Again, I just want to say that this is November 22nd. Normally we record on a Monday or Tuesday, after the weekend. So this is actually right up against the weekend after. But Nick, you and I saw
Ford versus Ferrari.
Yes, and
we do a little review right now.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Go ahead, you first.
Well, I was obviously we were excited about the movie because 2 very, very charismatic actors that were part of this. Talking about Christian Bale and Matt Damon,
and 2 actors you wouldn't normally think they'd be. Not that they wouldn't work together, but you just don't think they would work together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, what's the situation where they would be in a movie together?
Because he's a method actor. Matt Damon is just fucking lovable, so it's Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon. Yes, you hit it right on the head.
I can't say it any other way. They're both really good actors.
Yes.
I'm not taking anything away from either one of them. They're just different type of actors. I'm not in acting, but anybody that watches movies understands that you just don't see those 2 in a movie together. Like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, you see they should have been in a movie together. They make sense to be in a movie together.
Yes.
They're that kind of actors. They're deep. They're like, they really embody their actors very well. Mm-hmm. But these 2, you just don't see it. It's like, seeing Tom Hanks in a Star Wars movie. It's just not going to fucking happen.
Yeah, that's. But then again, we saw Samuel L. Jackson in a Star Wars movie,
and he what?
Mace
Come on, he was probably outside Ian McGregor was the best fucking thing about those prequels. Let's not go there.
Yes,
we'll get there later,
dude. But think about that. That could be a series.
Yeah,
young Mace Windu.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know. There's rumors that he might come back. I don't know.
It's not like he's starving for work. I mean, the dude
is the man.
Yeah.
He's making mad money. And you know what? He didn't become the man until his 30s. He was in acting for years. So,
yeah. What was it? You called it out? Christian Bale. I didn't even realize this, but you pointed. Was it Empire of the Sun?
Yeah.
It was his first movie. He was like
I don't know if it was his very first movie, but it was his very first movie. He was the star.
Yeah.
I think it was Spielberg that directed that.
It might have been. I can't recall right now.
It was a fantastic movie.
Powerful movie, for sure.
Very powerful movie.
So, Ford versus Ferrari. It's the story of Shelby.
The one thing I did like about this movie, though, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I have to say it is, I think he actually got a chance to talk like in his native tongue.
Yeah, he had a good hardcore accent.
And you ever hear him talk? That's how he talks.
Yes. Yes.
People are like caught off guard. I was caught off guard when I heard him. It was one of the award shows last year. He got up and won one of the awards, and he's just like talking, and I'm like, "This is fucking Christian Bale."
Yeah, he's I like to thank all the people. He's got like a hardcore accent.
So you fucking grew up in the ghetto, man, of London. Go ahead.
No, but it was. I'm just going to say it. I really enjoyed this movie.
I did.
I'm not a gearhead guy. I'm not a car guy. But it just goes to show you it's something that we hammer home all the time. It's just good storytelling with very, very charismatic characters and based in a true story.
Well, that's where you know me. I'm a history guy, and I'm not a car guy, but I'll watch anything that is a history-based type of movie that doesn't stray away too much from the true history of anything.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood. They Hollywood shit a lot of movies up. I'll get into that later, but I watched a movie that they Hollywooded up recently.
Yeah.
But this was really good. My only gripe about it was slightly too long. They probably didn't need to go to the very ending of it all. They probably could have just like typed that shit out, the last 15 minutes. I really didn't need to see that.
Yep, they could have probably trimmed, like you said, 15
trimmed
minutes.
A little bit. I mean, and you always wondered because you hear the McClellan name in there and all that, and you're like,
I didn't know McLaren went back that far.
I didn't either. I was going to Google it afterwards, but I'm only assuming that Shelby, McLaren, and all them are all intertwined now that I've seen the movie. So, but you wonder why what's-his-face, Christian Bale's character wasn't more well-known through the car universe, and now you know why.
Yeah, well, it's.
I don't want to spoil too much, but
yeah. So let's. If we spoil, we'll just call it out.
Because there's like a bunch of names they threw out there, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, it was all really centered around. I mean, you had Carroll Shelby, who won the Le Mans, who was American that won Le Mans, and was.
Did he win it?
I thought that's what they said. He won it like 10, 15 years before, because that's how they started the movie, right?
I thought they hinted towards it that he was in it.
Maybe that was it. But I don't know if just being in it would have catapulted him to the celebrity that he was. You know what I mean? That's what led me to believe.
We got to research this because, again, I'm not a car fanatic. This is where we would love. This is where Jamie would.
Oh, Jamie would have got. He'd go home with this. Yeah, for sure.
He would knock this out of the fucking park because I know a little bit about the Shelby character from the movie and from talking to other people that like.
Well,
people revere the
Shelby Cobra.
People revere the guy,
yes,
because he's American made. He revolutionized the American car industry to what it is today. Because a lot of other car industries were overtaking us back in those days because exactly where the point of the movie was going. It was like the Model T. Ford was just kind of like pumping out cars that were so generic.
Yes.
It wasn't like for the avid car guy, and the avid car guy would have to go across the sea to get a decent, like, hardcore car.
Yes.
And Shelby comes along and does what he did for Ford, and then he creates a name for himself, and then he already had a name for himself inside the car world, but then he creates a name for himself worldwide, and the rest is history, from what I understand. I mean, I'm not, like, 100% accurate on this, but that's what I gathered.
Yeah, and I was just trying to see whether he actually won the Le Mans or not. But rather than drag the show down, or slow the show down, he's a celebrity. He's a celebrity car designer. He's a celebrity racer. He, old school, born early 20s, and so that's kind of his character. But he has this great relationship, long-term, brotherly relationship with Ken Miles.
Now, I wonder if that's 100% accurate, or they just Hollywooded that relationship up
sure
because of those two guys, the two main characters. It was well done. I especially like when they wrestled on the grass. I thought that was fucking awesome.
There's a scene, and I did hear Matt Damon talk about this in one of the interviews, but when I saw it, I thought it was totally charming. They're in a fight, but they're just kind of fucking each other up a little bit.
A little bit. Like
he grabs the can of corn or whatever, and he's like, "No, I'm going to really hurt him."
And he throws it down
and hits him with Wonder Bread.
Yeah, that's why it was great. It was like, he's a good guy. I ain't gonna fuck him up. I'll wrestle with him, but I ain't gonna fuck him up.
Exactly. It's like getting into a fight with your brother. You're never gonna break his face.
Yeah.
But you're gonna, you might hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, and it was just great how the whole scene went down, and how the
very touching too
interaction, and obviously. You had the antagonist character of the VP of Ford. I forget his name.
No, he was Henry Ford II.
No, he was the owner. I'm talking about the antagonist character that was trying to influence Henry Ford.
The Wormser of the
weasel. He's a good actor too. He's not in too much anymore. He's like Sweet Home Alabama. And
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Shannon loves that movie, so I know.
Yeah.
But he was like the little like mouse in the ear, the devil on the shoulder of Henry Ford Jr., I guess, whatever.
He was slimy corporate America.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And he Miles crossed him when they first met.
Yes.
And he just couldn't let it go.
Yeah, he was all about the marketing and the brand. He wasn't about the heart of the racer.
Right. That's where Ford wanted to go. But when you have somebody in your ear all the time,
yep,
you're not going to... I love this scene where Matt Damon put him in the fucking car.
Spoilers, by the way.
Let's just clear the air.
Let's spoil it up. We're saying 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to let you know, for anybody that's fans of our show, you should know by now, anytime we are going to talk about a movie that we recently seen, we're spoiling the shit out of it.
Yes.
Let's not joke around about this. If we talk and say, hey, we've seen this movie... we're spoiling it. Don't fucking listen to this show until after you see the show.
Exactly.
After you see the movie.
Yeah. And for the most part, and this is for the listeners, is that we'll give it our praise, we'll give it a thumbs up, and then we'll start to spoil some shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2 thumbs up for me. I mean, it was awesome. I just, my one little gripe was a little too long. They could have trimmed. There's certain things in the movie you didn't need, everything. Saying that, everything else was fantastic. I loved how they went into the dynamics of the car, the racer. They kept talking about different things, the interactions between all the mechanics and everything. It really fascinated me. For a person that's not into cars, and almost got me into and I probably would have if there wasn't something on TV this week that was really polarizing for me.
Yeah.
The impeachment process. But we are not political. But if he does get impeached, we might have to have an episode on that.
Well, we just might have to break the rules.
I'm one of those people that if something tickles my fancy, I will Google the fucking
go down the rabbit hole.
I will, man. And I probably would have done it this week, but I had something that I felt was more important.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. And I think the thing about the what I felt was really kind of cool and kind of beautiful about the movie is that in order for you to be great, you have to have a dedication, a passion, a support, and a sophistication on how the details, especially in something like racing, that can be won by literally milliseconds sometimes.
But isn't that everything though? If you want to be great,
yes, it is.
If you want to be great in anything, we talk about this all the time. Mm-hmm. Steve Jobs, Einstein. Yep. You got to dedicate every ounce of your being, to that one. And the sad thing about it is things fall at the wayside that normal people aren't willing to give up.
Yeah.
Family, friends. He kept his family.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, he kept his family up, but he was away from it. I mean, they probably didn't get into it as much, but I'm only assuming he was away from his family, especially in the 50s and 60s. Probably 60s, I think. You're away from your family a lot. You're it's not like going to England now or France now, Italy now, where you could be home in the next day. That shit didn't happen. Yeah. You weren't home the fucking next day.
Not a 9-to-5 job.
No. I mean, it's just not what it was. I mean, even doing races around the country. I mean,
yeah.
And if you're really, really good at it,
and dangerous,
it's dangerous. I mean, I just think anybody that tends to be great at something. Oh, it's like, I don't mean to go sports on you, but I recently heard this thing Michael Jordan said out there. Michael Jordan's the owner of a basketball team, not the Bulls, but I think it's the Wizards or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he complains that they talk about load management for players nowadays. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan played every fucking minute of every fucking game.
No shit.
And there was I just read this thing. Not read. I watched Jeremy Roenick. You know who Jeremy Roenick is?
Yeah.
He played in Chicago back in the early 90s when Michael Jordan was playing. Mm-hmm. One day they were playing, they decided to play golf in the morning. Mm-hmm. They did 2 rounds of fucking golf, drank 10 beers, and Jeremy Roenick kicked his ass in golf, Jordan. And Jordan had to play that night. And Jordan goes, I bet you I fucking score 50 tonight. And he's like, what do you mean you bet me? He goes, I'll double whatever I just lost. And guess what? That motherfucker went out and scored 50. And he's like, and he played, you ever play a round of golf? You're exhausted.
Dude, that's 36 holes, man.
You're fucking exhausted.
Yeah,
and
you said he played 2 rounds, right?
2 rounds and drank 10 beers or 10 or so beers. That's what Rowan said. He goes, he's a great, but that's what I mean. These people that are like that.
It's a mindset.
It is. It really is.
And you'll see.
That's where I was getting to.
Yeah. And they'll some people say, oh, it's just natural hand-eye coordination. No, it's a way to think and see.
Because everybody, when you get to that level on sports or even technology or racing, you get to a level where everybody has the same natural abilities, but then there's a component in your mind or you just want it more.
Yeah.
You're more focused, whatever it is. You think Steve Jobs was any smarter than Bill Gates? No. Steve Jobs was just more focused on one individual thing. Bill Gates was more focused on the whole picture.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is focused on how do I make this can more reasonable for me to drink?
Yeah.
And he was just constantly focused on where Steve Jobs and Bill Gates is focused. How do I make money off these things?
Yeah. Yeah. And Jobs is more about style.
Substance. His style and substance.
Yeah.
Where Steve Jobs, Bill Gates wasn't. I mean, Einstein versus all the other physicists. He had an IQ of 160. It's a high IQ, but it's not world breaking.
Yeah, it's impressive, but you're right.
You know, the highest IQ of ever on history is like 215 or something like that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a guy that I don't even want to get into that, but I'm just giving a point, though. It's about the focus and the will for somebody to want something, but you also have to give up a lot.
Yeah, but I think, and to that point, I think that the way they depicted it in the movie, that you had Carol Shelby, who was naturally talented, but had a unique understanding of what it takes. Yeah. And I love the fact that the way they depicted Henry Ford II, where he was like, I'm a car manufacturer. I know cars. And he was all bravado. And he himself was a bloated form of marketing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, because he wasn't his dad. And that's what the one guy Ferrari said. His dad was an innovator with cars.
Yes.
His dad was like, I'm not Ivy League. I'm sure Henry Ford Jr. went through all the best schools.
Oh, that was such a great rib.
It was. It was a jab right there, right in the heart of the rib, right between everything, and got a pinprick right through the heart. And that's what got him revved up.
Got him fired up.
Yeah.
Revved up is better. That's more appropriate, pun intended.
Exactly, right? But it was perfect. And that's why he wanted to go out and get the best designers, the best everything. But you seen him again with the focus waning with his focus because it didn't happen overnight. And that's why Shelby came in and had to refocus him every once in a while and say, you want to do this, you got to do this. And that's when he stuck him in the fucking car and they drove the lap and he's like shitting his pants.
Yeah, he's crying like a blubbering baby.
And I wish we all would. Going 160, 180. Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. I get pissy when I go 80. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
But the part about that I really liked is that Ken Miles is the driver. Ken Miles and Carol Shelby know cars from they were talking about the weight here. They know
weight
everything about it. They are car guys. That their dedication, their passion, their focus, their intensity, all that stuff makes for someone who can beat Enzo Ferrari at Le Mans. Now when
they didn't even beat him, they crushed him because if you think about it, he got a bad start.
Yes,
because the door wouldn't shut.
Yes.
I mean, and then he set the record, like he broke the record twice in that, and then, and Enzo Ferrari, had to shut down because of issues, but he would, if he didn't get the bad start, he would have crushed him.
But my point, and I agree with you, but my point is that you're the son of a guy who founded Ford Motors, right? You're not a racer. You're not a car guy. You're just the son. And Enzo Ferrari called it out. You're just the son of the car guy.
Wow.
But real quick, he goes and he proved it when he put him in that fucking car.
Well,
and he cried
Shelby
like a baby.
Shelby
that's
did.
what I mean.
Shelby did, yeah, but Enzo Ferrari didn't.
No, but he smelled it out.
But it's like anything else. Everybody always has their, how do you put it? Things that they want to live up to in themselves.
Sure.
And obviously, he wanted to live up to his dad, even though he went to the Ivy League school. His dad didn't. He did probably the things.
Yeah, and that's poetic, man.
It's very poetic because everybody from the janitor to the CEO has that one little thing that will get them. You just can't control it. Enzo Ferrari, Henry Ford Jr. at the time was probably worth 20 times, maybe 30 times what he was worth. But
yeah,
the guy got to him.
Yeah.
You know, one little jab, one little poke.
Fired him up.
He could have just walked away and be like, I don't give a fuck about your little race team. I could buy you 30 times over and still be fucking who I am.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't look at it that way.
They really geeked out over the racing aspect.
And I love that. I thought that was perfect.
I'm not a car guy, and I loved every bit of it.
But that's what I love about when they actually make these movies right.
Yeah.
They don't make them bullshit. Mm-hmm. But let's move on because I really want to get to my main topic.
Absolutely. So let's. That was first in the box office. We're going through last week's box office. That's November 15th to the 17th. So it was Ford versus Ferrari. They did about $8 million.
They only did 8.
Well, they did $8 million. It's $31 million gross. You know what? The theater was pretty full when we went.
I know. It had to be more than $8 million for the whole.
The wrong link. $64 million worldwide. It's not a blockbuster at all, but it's also first, which means this is a great movie. For some reason, people aren't going out to see it. Maybe they think it's a car guy movie.
Well, Frozen's going to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, Frozen's going to decimate. Well, they're talking about. Well, we can talk about that later. But Midway was number 2 in the box office.
I heard that sucked.
Yeah,
and I'm a big fan of Midway. I love the original.
To give you an idea, and now this is critics, so just take it with a grain of salt. 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, 47% on Metacritic, and about 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
What about fans?
I don't have the fan info, but usually fans are a little bit higher, typically.
See, what I don't understand is,
except in the case of the movie that shall not be named,
this should have been a home run. It's fucking Midway. If
around Veterans Day.
And around Veterans Day to boot,
yeah,
they should have got Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. They made it like a fucking cartoon. I saw it in the previews.
Yeah,
that's not how it was, dude.
There's no star power either.
They had star power, not major star power.
That's what I mean.
But it should have been better than that. This is the turning point of the war in the Pacific.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably what every naval battle is based on from here on out.
I toured the Midway. It's wild, man. It's a time machine.
What, the island? You've been on the island?
No, the aircraft carrier that they named the Midway. It's in San Diego.
Oh, they named it the Midway? What was it before that though? Was it the Yorktown or something?
I don't know.
Yorktown sunk. It might have been the Hornet. Because the Enterprise got renamed like a bunch of different times.
Oh, did it? But it was just, you know what, now that you think about it, I don't know if that was actually, it had to be, there has to be a correlation. The Midway, it had to be a ship that was there.
The Midway, there was no aircraft carrier named the Midway at Midway.
No?
It was the Hornet, Enterprise, and Yorktown. There's no fact check there, buddy.
No, I believe you. I'm just wondering if there was a rename, like you said.
They could have renamed it.
Yeah,
they could have renamed one of them. It wasn't the Enterprise.
Wild.
It wasn't the Enterprise.
It was pretty wild. Either way, it was a ship of that era. I'm assuming, whatever.
Well, anyway, I don't recommend anybody see this movie. But if you really want to see a movie that really captures the whole, see the original. I know it's a little dated, but it really captures what went on. And then look up on the facts.
It's a great story. It's like you said.
It's an unbelievable story.
It's a shame they shit the bed on it.
They shit the bed. I mean, we won the battle all by breaking a code. And it was brilliant. Nimitz took a chance and he was unbelievable. All the fighters. It was a very heroic battle, and we won it clearly by chance, but we won it.
Isn't it crazy? There's little moments in history that could have just changed our lives big time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Japan wouldn't have invaded the United States, but they would have conquered.
Own the Pacific.
They would eventually take it over Hawaii and own the Pacific because there would have been no stopping them after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been pivotal. So Charlie's Angels was third. Off of Elizabeth Banks. She's defending that movie.
Oh, she's proud of it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Kristen Stewart, oh my God, could she stop making horrible movies?
Well, she's making that underwater movie too.
That's horrible too.
Yeah.
Dude, she's just like trying to bank on a name now.
Yeah.
It's like, how you're not even an actress anymore.
She's got a hell of a publicist, man, because she is all over the place.
She is. She's just trying to. Maybe her publicist or her agent got together and realized this bitch can't really fucking act, and we'll just cash in right now.
She's very newsworthy. Like, you know, she came out. She's, you know, she is making the most out of her. She made the most out of her moment, and her moment was really.
Trust me, it will fade.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage was a great actor.
Got an Academy Award.
And faded. Because he started doing a lot of shit movies.
Because he was nutty. Like, he was nutty in a way that.
I know.
But like he went bankrupt, didn't he?
He went bankrupt and he did a lot of shit movies.
Yeah.
My point to this is, bankrupt or not bankrupt, if you do a lot of shit movies, you're eventually going to be forgotten.
You're not going to be a draw.
You have to still be a draw. That's where Tom Cruise comes in. Tom Cruise, nobody would ever say he's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's a great entertainer, but he understood where his niche was.
Yeah.
You know, once you... And he capitalized on that, but she's not capitalizing. She's just taking paycheck after paycheck. It's okay for a Matt Damon to do a Great Wall of China,
yeah,
and then to go back to another fucking movie,
do a Ford versus Ferrari,
yeah, and I'll make the $20 million on that, then I'll make $10 million on Ford versus Ferrari,
yeah,
because I'm fucking Matt Damon,
yeah,
you know. But he knows he can't keep making those shit movies. Back to my point,
yeah.
Even Matt Damon, a guy like his stature, will still fade away.
Yeah.
Al Pacino almost did.
Yes.
That's Al Pacino started making in the early 2000s, made a bunch of, I can't remember off the top of my head, that's how bad they were.
He did have a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, because he started going outside his realm and he thought he could do it. You know what I mean? He tried to follow Robert De Niro, and dude, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Robert De Niro is a better actor than Al Pacino.
Yeah, I agree. But Al Pacino, it's like, he I don't know what happened. He went from being very young to no middle ground.
He was old.
And then old with like hair transplants and like, hoo-ah, and like just like you're now, I mean, Son of a Woman was a good movie.
Oh, it's a great movie, man. Don't even give me that. That was a fantastic. Yeah. It's not a movie you can watch a lot.
No, it's a great movie.
But it's a great movie. And it was one of his, I think,
talented.
I personally think it's his best performance. People would probably say Godfather 2. Yeah, but I like him in, I just think playing a blind man, a crazy blind man, a military blind man was, whew.
Speaking of which, we'll get to it a little bit later, but really looking for, I totally shit the bed.
I know. I
got confused.
The Irishman?
Yeah, they did theatrical on November 1st, and now they're doing Netflix on the
27th?
27th, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Me too. Last time we seen them both together on screen was Heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was an awesome movie.
And you know what? That scene where they were sitting across from each other.
Fuck, man.
They were not actually across from each other.
Are you shitting me?
Don't quote me on this, but I'm like 80% sure that they cut because neither one of them wanted to be. There was like an ego thing.
No way. We'll check it out. We'll fact check it.
That's a fact check. I mean, I'll admit that I'm 80% sure that never happened.
All right. Well, Charlie's Angels obviously
that happened.
Shit the bed. It was third in the box office. That was another one. You know, it's just nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted it. It's like, why?
It's going to make their money though, because it only cost $40 million to make. President Steve told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
$40 million to make, and so that means if it did. 8 million.
What is it worldwide though?
Let's see, 8 million. It's only done $12 million worldwide.
Oh man!
According to Box Office Mojo.
And they're not even hot. I mean, they're good-looking women, but like I'm thinking, Charlie's Angels. Like, dude, I want to fucking jerk. I want to beat my dick.
Yeah,
in the corner.
well, it was. You
know what I mean?
Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz and what's it,
Lucy Liu. But in the original cast back then, they were the hottest.
Yes,
they were smoking hot.
God, you know
for the '70s, man, dude. That's why it was Charlie's.
Farrah Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith.
I'm sorry, Kristen Stewart, not hot.
Nah.
She's good looking. She's cute.
But it's like I went to high school with that girl.
Yeah, not hot.
You know, nothing exceptional.
Yeah.
So that was Charlie's Angels. Playing with Fire. I don't even know this movie. It's John Cena. It kind of reminds me he's a firefighter.
Oh yeah,
Some
then
kids
oh God, it's like that stupid. He's following the Rock.
Absolutely, this is his tooth fairy.
And you know what? Good for him, man. Because I like John Cena.
Yeah, so do I.
All the movies he's been in, he's been pretty decent. Like what's the
Amy Schumer movie?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, Trainwreck. He was fantastic in that
fantastic. Movie. I mean, why not? Rock is lovable.
Yes.
And you know what? John Cena's not bad.
Yeah. Well,
he's like Rock's A and he's 1A.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Or maybe B+.
Yeah. So, and then fifth in the box office is Last Christmas. This is the one.
Yeah, I don't care. I know who it is.
Yeah. It's what's her name? It's Khaleesi and the guy from Crazy Rich Asians.
Which they don't look. I'm sorry, right there, they just don't look like they would.
No chemistry.
No, yeah. I saw the preview and I'm like, yeah.
And it's not even if it's like I could. It's one of those things where I'm like, I get it. I know what Hollywood, I know what you're doing here. You got somebody who just came off a smash hit television series and someone who just came off a smash hit movie. And you're thinking those two should make a movie together.
It seems like it's like a glorified Hallmark movie.
It's yes.
Yeah. Why would I want to pay for that? I don't watch it on TV.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so that was the fifth in the box office. That's box office for this week. In the news, we were talking about Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, I got news.
Okay,
Star Trek 4 is a go.
No shit,
it's a go.
Details? Anything?
I didn't get into too much details. I didn't read the article. I just know they said
damn Flipboard, dude. You're reading headlines.
Yeah, I don't have fucking much time, dude. But I'm like again, I'm 99% sure on this.
Do you know who's going to be the director?
It's not going to be
not going to be Tarantino.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah,
he's not going to go out commercial.
No,
for his last movie. Are you shitting me? It's going to be a Tarantino extravaganza. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Any dates?
Chris Pine is involved. I don't know if
no shit.
Yeah, he's in.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
Well, you had to.
I love me some Chris Pine.
And I suppose the one thing I did read was they're going to go to supposedly they're going to go to a lot of different kind of worlds.
Awesome. I'm in. That with a double shot of Picard. I'm totally in. I heard they're not. I heard the whole Star Trek on CBS Access is on shaky ground.
Fucking right, it should be. Yeah. Goddamn, CBS Access should be on shaky ground because we talk about these streaming services. There's only going to be three main ones.
And Netflix is not going to go down without a fight.
Well, I don't know. Max is pushing HBO Max. They bought the rights to Big Bang for $1 billion.
Yeah.
For $1 billion.
I don't think that's going to pay off, man.
Well, listen to this. And then the HBO Max also did I'm not 100% accurate on this, but they might have a Friends reunion on that.
Oh, shit.
Like 6 episodes or something like that.
That's interesting.
And then the Big Bang might pay off, not like...
Or sad.
What do you mean?
I mean, Friends reunion is either interesting and exciting or really sad. Like,
I go interesting.
But Jennifer Aniston's the only one that's really crushing. I mean, everybody
Who cares?
Where's Matthew Schwimmer?
But you know what? They don't need to be because they're making a ton of money in the
But that doesn't, just because they're making money, that doesn't mean it makes for good entertainment. You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't it be entertainment though?
Because
have you rewatched any of the Friends episodes recently?
I have, and I enjoy it.
They're awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy it because
you know what? Jamie will kill me for this, and it's what I believe. I enjoy watching redos of Friends than more Seinfeld.
That's interesting.
Because Seinfeld is just redundant. The show is about nothing, and it's great when the first couple times you watch it.
Yeah,
but dude, it's not funny the third or fourth time.
I'll have to get
that's just my opinion. I'm not saying it should be yours.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's Jamie's. I just like, okay.
So I get it. So it's funny you say that because I'm watching the last season of Silicon Valley, and they've gone to, and this happens with a lot of sitcoms. They're really good. They're innovative. The stars of the shows are hungry and they're unique. And then at one point they jump the shark and they get to be these caricatures.
Yeah, they try to put like more drama into it a little bit.
Well, not even there's that, but there's also
MASH did that.
Well, there's also like you're so silly you're not even real anymore.
I thought you were going with the MASH caricatures. That makes sense.
Yeah,
like the MASH thing. They went like kind of had like a couple like serious drama episodes,
and I was okay with that.
Well, you're a fucking comedy though. Stop.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And I love MASH,
but they get too silly to where it's like you don't believe that they're real people anymore. In the early ones, you're like, yes, it is a sitcom and it has its own rhythm, but you also think to yourself, I'm buying in.
Yeah.
And then once they get to a point to where they have to keep innovating and keep writing new jokes and materials and material.
You think they took it too far?
I think they did. And I think with Silicon Valley, I'm watching this last season, and this goes back to HBO, right? I'm like, I'm almost out.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a guy who I've worked in Silicon Valley. I was like, all the notes and all the stereotypes and everything like that were spot on. Like I totally got it. So anyway, just to shift gears a little bit, we mentioned we were talking about the John Cena and The Rock.
Yeah.
News is that Dwayne Johnson confirmed that he's going to be portraying Black Adam, right?
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He's going to not only is going to be doing Black Adam, but he's also just in his Jumanji press junket. They're doing,
which I am intrigued about.
Yeah, and me too. I mean,
like it.
Yeah, I'm down with Jumanji.
Love the first one.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a good thing, but
I was
surprised the fuck out of me, man.
Goddamn Rock, he's so lovable.
Yeah. And combine him with Jack Black and Kevin Hart. And
win-win.
Yeah.
Win-win-win.
Mm-hmm. And pepper it with a little, what's her name from Guardians? But so he's confirmed he's going to be Black Adam. Holy shit, does he have the look for Black Adam? He already looks like a superhero, right?
He's the man.
Yeah. So but then they're saying they're going to kick off an All-Star Justice League, which could be very interesting.
I'm exiting out of that because I'll watch it, but I'm
sorry, Justice Society of America.
It doesn't matter. It's Warner Brothers. They don't have a plan.
Yeah,
they like to throw shit against the wall. I'm like, oh god, look at we made some money.
Yeah. Right, well, the problem is that Justice Society of America is so dated that I don't think that people. There's one thing to go with an obscure title like Guardians and then just marvel it up and make it as entertaining as fuck, and then go with Justice Society and then look back at the sort of misses that DC has had.
Misses?
And you're like, major misses. And then you're like, I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah, I don't either.
So that was that. The other thing I wanted to bring up, and we did touch on this just a minute, was Joker's box office, top $1 billion.
First rated R movie to get there.
Yes, and deservingly so.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so I'll take
it. It's a good movie. Go see it. Not that they need your dollars, because obviously they're doing just fine. But yeah, it's a great movie, and I'm not surprised. The other thing that I wanted to talk about as far as the news is Sony is making. There's rumors that there is going to be a Venom Spider-Man connection, where they're actually on screen at the same time.
Is it Tom Holland or is it just...
It's a good question. It's all just whisper down the lane shit. Sony didn't confirm. Marvel didn't confirm. Obviously, Marvel's not going to confirm, right?
I'm just going to let that slide and we'll see. I still haven't brought myself to see the first Venom, so...
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. You don't have that much time on your hands. Don't waste it watching that movie.
All right, let's move on to the good shit.
Yeah. All right. One last thing is the Sony is making a standalone movie called about Madam Web. Madam Web was a character in the Spider-Verse that was basically, she was an old woman, clairvoyant, blind, paralyzed, and she would communicate with Spider-Man and sort of get him through, especially when it's doing.
She was in the cartoon a little bit.
Yes, exactly. So let's get to the heart of the matter, and then if we have some time, we'll go back to what we were watching. Well, actually, this is relevant. So this is part of what we are watching.
We just watched.
Yes. And you, unfortunately, and we mentioned it in the show last week, you weren't able to... Was it last week or might have been the week before?
It was last week.
Yeah.
Because they threw 2 episodes in 1 week.
That's right. It was Tuesday and Friday. Yeah. And my heart was breaking for you, brother. I was like...
I was in the fucking... I was in the urgent care. I'm kidding. Well, we're
grab beer.
Go grab a beer. Grab me one, too. If you got another one of these.
I got sessions in here.
That's fine. So this is what happened. Last week, I'm all prepared. It was actually my idea for us to watch the show. Yeah. Watch The Mandalorian and then pod on it. I was like, dude, this would be great. Let's take it a day later. We'll fucking rank out Disney Plus and rank out The Mandalorian. It'll be awesome. Well, I'm putting my kids to bed with my wife. My wife decides to go downstairs before I did, and we have hardwood steps. And all I hear is, I'm like, motherfucker. And I'm like, holy shit. I put my kid down and I'm like, are you okay?
Did you know it was Shannon when you heard the noise?
Yeah, I knew it was Shannon because she was walking down the steps. Okay. She just left the room to walk down the steps. I knew it was Shannon. So I get down to the bottom of the steps and she's just like laying there with her elbow in the air. Like, I can't move. So naturally.
You're going... I gotta go podcast.
You're good. Put ice on it, you'll be fine. So, needless to say, long story short, I couldn't go, and I took her to urgent care, but nothing was wrong. She was fine in a couple of days, but that's why I missed last week.
But we've been stoked about this show for months upon months.
And you know what? It hasn't disappointed.
Fuck.
Dude, it hasn't. It is... everything I wanted a Star Wars movie to be like.
Yeah, that's a great... I'm glad you punctuated that part.
You had to, because I don't need millions of dollars. Granted, this is costing them $15 million an episode, but I don't need them to spend $300-400 million on a Star Wars movie to make it a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
I think just more is not always better.
No.
It's like if you drink too much water, you'll drown.
Yes.
You have too much oxygen, you will suffocate.
Yes.
I mean,
well, the prequels were a perfect example.
Yeah.
All the money in the world.
Yeah.
Deep ass George Lucas pocket.
Well, look at Disney with these movies. The Force Awakens was okay.
Yeah.
But I was just explaining this to somebody today. Is the reason why The Force Awakens wasn't better than what it should be is because how they treated Luke and the whole, like The Force Awakens was all about getting to Luke, and then you make Luke look like a bitch and somebody that doesn't care in the second movie.
Retiree.
That makes The Force Awakens look stupid.
Yeah.
because the whole plot was to get to Luke, and Luke was supposed to be this unveiling, whatever.
It's so heartbreaking, dude.
It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So it makes that movie look irrelevant.
Yeah, I agree. And then so unfortunately you weren't able to watch us, and I know we're doing a little bit of a recap, but I think it's well worth it since you're our local Star Wars aficionado expert. Your passion meter is way above Jamie and I's, and ours are pretty high. So paint the scene. How did you watch the first episode?
I watched it with my stepson Aiden. And we watched it together. It was pretty cool. I watched it that night. You guys were potting.
Yeah,
I probably texted you during it. I'm sure.
Sure.
I was watching it, and truthfully, I knew a little bit backstory on Mandalorian. Some people don't, so you probably had to research it. And I mean, as the show's going on, like tonight, they explained a little bit more about what happened to Mandalore, but I already knew what happened to Mandalore. But it's just the little stuff they're adding in that is just awesome. Like Return of the Jedi, when he goes to Jabba's palace and the little eye thing pops out.
Yeah.
They added that in. They didn't need to, but it was perfect.
Yes.
I don't need, oh my God, they're catering to the fans. I don't need their catering to the fans like they did in Force Awakens. Just little nuggets.
Use the palette to paint the world.
Exactly.
You don't have to create, you don't have to beat me over the head.
Exactly. And the stormtroopers in that episode were all dusty, dirty.
Yes.
Like they were hiding.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's painting a picture of where they're at that moment.
Yeah, and the stormtroopers, and we touched on this just a little bit, but they reminded me of like, all right, there was a war, and now what do you do with these war veterans that were on the opposite side, and they're going to have to hide out and still survive? So do they become bodyguards? Do they become mercenaries?
See, the one thing I wish they would have done was had half of them with their helmets off. Because, I mean...
that would have been baller, man.
That would have been better, because at the end of the day, you're not in an official army anymore. You're just in a fraction, a segment of what it once used to be.
Yeah.
But...
what the fuck does that armor do anymore? It doesn't block any blasters.
Yeah, it doesn't help them shoot either. They can't fucking shoot.
Well, did you ever see the old footage? Because it was so hard for the actors to see out of the helmets. There's like old footage where they're like coming through and they're tripping over like an open doorway and shit like that.
I can believe it though.
Yeah.
But I just love all the little nuggets they had. I just thought that aside, when he got to the planet... I even liked the one character of the little guy that he ran into.
Nick Nolte.
I have spoken.
Yes.
I thought it was clever. You know what I mean? I wish they would have dove a little bit more into that, but I'm not. That's nitpicking.
Yeah, sure.
I thought it was good. I thought Mandalorian with the one droid, because I was watching it with Aiden,
the IG-88,
and I didn't know too much about this. He did though, because he played a lot of the video games.
He's a Lego character.
Yeah, he's a Lego character, and he's like a badass droid.
Yes.
Aiden's he was like all hyped up that guy was in there, and I'm like, all right, this is cool.
That's awesome.
Another thing that bridges the gap between my generation, his generation, and now. You know what I mean? It's just little nuances like that are awesome. And then obviously, who doesn't like the reveal at the end?
Yeah.
And I called this out to a guy. I was talking to a guy in one of my stores. He said he's a big Star Wars fan. Him and his buddy, he didn't see the episode yet, and he was bugging me. And I watched it the day before, and he was bugging me. He's like, well, what was so great about it? I said, well, there's a reveal in it about a character I cannot say, but it's the only character in the Star Wars universe that never reveal his identity of his species.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, they revealed everybody's. And I'm like, no, they haven't. I already knew this prior because I'm a fucking Star Wars geek.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, just tell me about it. And I'm like, do you really want me to? And I said, it was a Yoda-type baby. And he's like, well, yes, I did. And he Googled it. Nope, it's not in there.
So true, man.
It's not in there. And so, and I love that. It blew my mind. Every little aspect, it was just awesome.
Yeah, to me, they paint this gritty outer rim, galaxy
Gritty
edge.
is the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I was telling somebody, that's where Han Solo should have
shut up, dude.
Not this jokey joke movie.
Yeah.
Yes, he became that guy, but he was. If you ever watched the first Star Wars, I don't want to get too much in this because I want to talk more about the Mandalorian. But he was a fucking mean SOB.
Yeah, he's a smuggler.
Yeah, he wasn't this jokey joke guy all the time.
He shot first, right?
You fucking know I'm right about that, dude. That's just exactly right. George Lucas dick.
And I love going and that it's the subtlety and the nuance of the way they're painting this world that is so satisfying.
It is, and they just and they're painting and not just satisfying. They're painting a story. That, like, even if you're not a true Star Wars fan, this little baby Yoda character is adorable.
Yes.
And this, you feel
but not a pogue or a pog or
exactly.
Whatever. Yeah.
And you feel for this Mandalorian who's supposed to be this big, badass, hard-ass dude.
Yeah.
He just, this character, so little, ends up saving his life for what he doesn't even understand what happened, because at this point in the Star Wars lore, it's all lore about the Force. Nobody knows about
mythology.
It's mythology. There's only one person in the whole universe that has it at this point.
Yeah.
And it's Luke Skywalker, and not everybody knows Luke.
Yeah.
They might know the name, they don't know what he does, because everybody else is dead.
Yeah.
So when he does what he does, it's just like the Mandalorian is fucking just, he doesn't know how to take it. He's just like, and he even expresses that in this episode we talked about tonight. He's talking to his boss, who I think is the girl from Rebels.
Yes. Oh, as far as the Mandalorian camp that's underground.
I think it's her. I want to Google her name. I wish I knew her. She's from Star Wars Rebels. She was a Mandalorian in that.
Yeah.
I believe it's her because he never fully explains what happens.
People will be blown away.
I think if he did, she would know exactly, because she in Rebels, she helped some Force users around.
Yeah.
And she actually had an interaction with Yoda at one point.
That's the beauty of this story, right? There's a lot of well, I'll put it this way. I've been watching a lot of stuff.
Or maybe that's why she sent all those guys to help him.
Yeah. So we're on episode 3. We just watched episode 3.
And 2
tonight.
had the
Jawas.
Jawas. Come on, man.
Right? And
that was awesome. I mean, it wasn't, it was a bit of a filler episode, but it was good.
It was really good.
And it showed little Yoda having the Force, which means his species, they're few and far between because they live so long.
Yep.
Obviously, 50 years and he's still a fucking baby. That their species are very how do I want to put it?
They're Force sensitive.
Force sensitive.
Yeah.
Yes, very Force sensitive.
Yeah.
All
Force strong.
Strong. All of them. And
there's a lot going on, and like, so I'm watching.
Maybe it's Yoda's kid. Who knows? That's not even a joke, because if the kid's 50 years old, Yoda's.
I kind of hope it's not.
I kind of hope it's not either. I kind of hope.
It seems corny if it was.
Yeah, I think that would be corny, but I kind of hope it's more of like there's a specific place in the universe, planet, or area that these guys, these people come from, these creatures.
Yeah.
And it's very rare that they come about.
And they're strong as hell with the Force.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's really.
I would almost hopefully they would be the guides of the Force of maybe they're setting it up for this particular be the guide of the Force for.
Well, they almost remind me of Tibetan monks, right?
Well, hear me out. I mean, this is just something I thought off the top of my head. Like Yoda was the guide of the Force for almost 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe his Force-sensitive people don't come around that often. And since the Force knew Yoda was about to pass, they created the next one that would help the next generation. And it just takes them a long time to get to the age to help the next generation.
Their species so integrated that the timing of it all, it's like continuing the ribbon of the Force.
Right.
From one generation to the next.
And they're the one that keeps people on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. So there is something about this that I've watched each episode. First one 3 times, second one 2 times, and we just watched the third one tonight. Tonight being the 22nd of November, and and so it's just one of those things where it is really, really tight, really good storytelling. The part where I think you're looking at, you basically, it starts out as this Western, right? Starts out as this Western. You think, I thought at least, that it was going to be all Western, and then like a version of like saloon style spaghetti Western. I save the town. After I save the town, I ride off into the sunset, and I'm just the Mandalorian. But there's so many nuances that are so many different wrinkles of this story that not only flesh out the characters, but have their own history that get you invested and interested in finding out more and more about these characters. Obviously the Mandalorian's the main character, and when you first meet him, he's just shrouded in mystery, especially if you're not all over Wikipedia and you're saying to yourself, what's this guy's deal? What's the history? And then you find out, like, oh my God, this is a rich culture. This is a fallen culture. These people are sort of scattered to the stars, or scattered to the winds, and by being scattered, they're actually underground. They weren't was this great society, and so there's a lot of intrigue there. There's a lot of I want to find out more, and then with every character that they seem to introduce that has more. That has just talking really about those layers. Every character they introduce, you sense and sniff out a history. Like even Carl Weathers' character,
the black guy.
Yeah. You're like, how did he get to who he is? With the Mandalorian, you're like, what's that history of him? And then you're like, with the I'll say, for lack of better words, the Yoda baby, right? Like, what the hell's going on there? But not so much. And the reason I'm sort of going down this rabbit hole is that I've been watching Watchmen. All right, I'm on.
So have I. I didn't see last week's.
So I'm all caught up.
I'm digging.
There are 5 episodes. I'm enjoying the hell out of them, but I'm not feeling like I've just finished a meal.
No.
I feel like I finished a meal. I'm satisfied. And I'm ready for the next one.
And you know what I like about this is it's not like it's all to can be continued, but it's not. It's their own episodes.
Yes, and they're short.
They're short, but they have a lot of meat on that bone. It's just
man.
It's like I didn't catch all of what you just said because I had to run out.
Yeah,
sorry,
I had to pee.
I had to pee. I have a weak bladder. But I feel like they're growing with these characters, especially the main character. And I know people will get upset the fact that they haven't seen his face. I kind of dig it. You know too. What I mean? I really, because if you're going to go on the premise that these Mandalorians never take off their helmets, I mean, you got to hold it true to at least halfway through, right?
Yeah. Well, think about that, dude. They were able to emotion, feeling sensitive to this individual, makes you empathetic to this individual.
Without his facial expressions. And I love that.
It's hard.
I mean, that's
good writing.
Good writing, good directing.
Yes.
Excellent directing.
Yeah.
Excellent directing. And it's like you said, it's like their attention to detail is awesome. Who they were cooking up, the frying.
Oh yeah,
the animal,
little
Jabba the Hutt, the guy. That was awesome, man. Yeah, it's perfect. It's like, I mean,
I'll have a leg.
Yeah, it's just not the nostalgia stuff. Oh, of course, it's big with me, and I'm sure it's big with you and Jamie. But we've always talked about good writing.
Yeah.
Is key. Good storytelling.
Yeah.
We want to be entertained. We just don't want to feel nostalgic. Great, you put a lightsaber on the stage, on the screen. It doesn't mean I'm going to fucking like the movie.
Nah. Hey, did you do this? Like does it make Rogue One even better? Watching this movie, watching this series, for me, it feels like because Rogue One is such a similar style as far as like the tone, the grittiness.
See, I think that's what. Yeah, I mean, to answer your question plainly, yes, but to go further on that, I think that's what all the movies should have been like. Because if anything, and I hold everything to Empire's standard. Empire had a lot of grit, but it felt real. Like these people were really going through a struggle.
Yeah.
But they were real people. They weren't just some caricatures. If I said that right.
Yeah, you got it.
On a screen.
Yeah, I absolutely. Hey, do you think, ponder this for a minute. Do you think that the Empire was trying to make places like the places that we're seeing in Rogue One and places that we're seeing in especially in the Mandalorian, do you think that they were trying to make those places less lawless, bring order to those places, or do you think those places are like they are now because of fallout after the fact, after the Empire has been destroyed?
I think,
you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean, but isn't it just two of the same things? Say
meaning like okay,
the Emperor was trying to bring order to him.
Yes.
But then you just said that they turned into that because the Empire was destroyed. So it's like you're asking the same question, aren't
like
you?
maybe they were better before. I should say. I should be more specific. Maybe they were better before.
All aspects hidden that they reference in all the things that it was better before the Empire. Like Mandalore was there before the Empire, even though they might have warring factions with each other. They hinted to, and even in this episode, that the Empire took over their planet, and that's how they. That's how
he gets those flashbacks when they're building the armor.
Right, which another great flashback was who was it? A Clone War droid.
Yes,
was awesome. So
and not a janky looking. James gonna love that I said janky.
But it was a badass droid that was like, motherfucker, you know, you better run. You know, so I mean, I think the Empire was just kind of like saying it was order as like. It was like a big lie. They wanted everybody to say, well, I'm trying to bring order to you guys, to take over you guys. And you're by order meaning that you're going to have to do what I say and what I say when I say it.
Yeah. Kind of like any regime.
Any regime. Exactly. You know what I mean? Soviet Union type deal. If you want to go political there, you know, they felt that they were bringing order. But at the end of the day, the order's always corrupt at the top because
people suffer.
People suffer.
Yeah, and that's another layer. Like I wouldn't even think to talk about something as like.
And I think that's where the prequels missed out. To be totally honest with you,
great point.
They really, if you really were going to go the route of how the Empire formed, you really should have went more political.
Yeah, well, and not like this is the Senate. This is the
no. They should have went in depth with it.
But make it real as far as the struggle. You know,
that's what I mean.
Yes.
Exactly. We're on the same.
Yeah.
We're on the same page. I think they missed out on that, and I think they missed out on the whole. I mean, I just didn't think there should be too much levity with the prequels. I thought it should have been more of a serious component.
Yeah, and you could see how they reacted to the fans ongoing, because if anybody, most people will say, like, if I'm going to put an order of which ones I like the most, you know, they're going to go in the order that they rolled them out, you know, with Revenge of the Sith at the.
Revenge of the Sith is the best one.
Exactly. So they reacted.
But again, that's the only one that had the grittiness to it.
True. It was. Yeah.
If you know there's a theme there, the ones that are the best have grit to it.
Yeah. They make it visceral.
Yeah.
Right?
Visceral is a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
Visceral. It's Yeah, that's why Empire's number one, and you will go New Hope, and then you probably still go Jedi, but I mean, if you want to be, still go Jedi, then probably Rogue One, then Sith.
Yeah, that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
I'm obviously we're just in love with this show.
This show is blowing my mind. It's exactly, to be totally honest, exactly what Star Wars needed.
Agreed. It reinstilled the faith.
It reinstilled the faith to 100% in me.
Yeah.
Because I felt they were going down a dark path. That's pardon the pun.
Well, and hopefully they start create the template of what it's like to make movies going forward for the fans.
Well, I heard Jon Favreau. There's a rumor out there, and this is just a rumor, that he might be more into Star Wars than just Rogue One. Not Rogue One,
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
So, which is because they haven't really
should be
right, and so they really haven't announced any movies outside Return of the Jedi.
That might be your phone.
That is my phone. Besides The Rise of Skywalker,
I still got it.
I don't know what to do.
Here, give it to me. There you go. Hopefully that's the course that Disney's going to take. I mean, they should,
and hopefully they tie it in together. Like, not to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
The Rise of Skywalker comes out in a month. They got 5 episodes left.
Tick and tie right together.
I don't need it to be a huge tie-in, just a nugget.
Yeah.
Meaning that everything means something.
Yeah. No.
If they don't tie it in any kind of way, it's not going to be a total disappointment. But I just think they're going to miss. They'll miss it.
Yeah. I think there is
I think that's where Marvel did it right.
Yeah, we're talking about regime changes. I think there's a regime change that's going to happen over in Disney.
I already think it happened.
Yeah,
between me and you, I think as soon as you heard the rumor
and everybody listening,
yeah, right. Kevin Feige. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did. You got it.
I got it. Yay! Let's get a gold star. You already heard that he's taken on a producer role in one of the upcoming movies, future. I personally think, remember when we talked about, this was a while back, we talked about after Solo came out, months after Solo came out, they had a big round table with Iger and about the Star Wars thing. It was all hidden.
Yeah.
I personally think that Feige is going to take over all of the sci-fi
he's
genre,
president of development,
all the sci-fi genre of the Disney universe.
Yeah, Star Wars and Marvel, easy.
I think he will. I think they're just trying to save face.
Could you imagine? That dude's like 46, 47 years old. Like, he's like a year or two younger than I am. So he grew up with it happening at, when he was 5 years old or whatever. And now he's got the keys to the castle, deservingly so, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we're getting shows like The Mandalorian. I'm totally stoked. Okay, so it sounds like we totally knobbed this thing, to death.
Dude, I jerk off I'll probably jerk off when I go home tonight to it. I mean, it's just it's so good. It just really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think it's that good, or do you think we're just like starving?
No, I think it is.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we're starving, yes, but I think all the reviews I've read and everybody I've talked to that's watched it, I haven't heard one person say they don't like it.
Yeah.
Not one. I mean, you usually would hear somebody say, well, it's okay.
So if I'm running Disney Star Wars and I got this show right now, I'm strategizing. I'm going, all right. Well, we got something. We got
but you don't want to just capitalize. I don't think it's lightning in a bottle. I think they went back. I think Jon Favreau is a smart guy.
Yeah.
I think they went back and they looked at what made the original, not just the original, because you don't want to go broad. You want to go what made Star Wars great and what is capturing the audience now.
Yeah.
And I think he's a smart guy, and I think he realized that. You said it a bunch of times. Grit.
Yeah.
This grit, this this plot line,
sophisticated,
and having good storytelling.
Yeah. So the thing that I'm really happy about is because it's always been like, oh, well, start like to your point earlier with what's his name? He was saying it's Star Wars is for kids.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. Go get your career back there, buddy. Yes, it was for kids. And the kids are adults. And the kids
40 years ago.
Yeah, and the kids that are kids now, I'm sorry, but they're more sophisticated than we were when we were kids.
That's just him saying that just means he was never really a fan.
Yeah, dummy.
He just wasn't a fan. He's just a voice of one of the rebels. That's all you were, dude. You were never a true fan. Because let's be honest. I mean, a lot of the filmmakers that come out now, storytellers that come out now that are in the sci-fi genre and all that, they're all fans. They all grew up in this mythical world of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you can't understand that, then no wonder your career is shit the bed.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And so, it's good stuff.
No, it's great stuff.
It's great stuff.
It's great stuff.
We're going a little long there, Nicholas.
Yeah, I probably should be getting.
So I'm just going to say real quick the stuff that I'm watching. I stalled on Walking Dead.
I'm still watching it.
Are you?
I'm still. They just announced. I should have brought this up.
The Michonne thing.
No, season 12 will be the last season.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's some news.
That is some news. I forgot to bring that up. I don't know why I didn't.
Season 12 will be the last season. Hey, it's a good run.
We're in season 10, so 12. At least we know there's an end date.
Yeah,
and that was always my big beef.
Sure.
So,
but they already killed Rick, so it's like
Rick's not dead.
Well, I mean, they've already
in the comics.
Yes.
I know he's dead in the comics. We're not spoiling shit. If you're a Walking Dead fan, you already knew that.
They're already diverging from the from the path of the comic.
It's still okay. I mean, it's not where it was 3-4 years ago, but it's still. I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
What else you watching?
So
I got some stuff.
Obviously, we mentioned Watchmen. I told you about how I'm like, I'm enjoying it, but I want something a little bit more similar to the satisfaction that I get from that I've been getting from. I think
Watchmen. The problem with the Watchmen is it's just slow going.
Yes.
It's too slow going. I don't mind 3 episodes slow going, but you got to jazz it up.
Yeah, dude. Come on. Tell me what the fuck is going on.
I mean,
I don't know what's going on.
Mandalorian. We don't even know what's going on in Mandalorian, but they jazz it up the first episode by throwing Yoda out there, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda.
But in a way, we kind of do know what's going on.
We do.
But they're like teasing out little mysteries.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm watching is His Dark Materials. It's the Golden Compass stuff that's on HBO.
Oh, did that start already?
Yeah, it's good.
Fuck, how many episodes?
I want to say 3.
Shit, I wanted to see that too.
Dude, now you got something to do this weekend.
Is it good?
It's good.
It's good because I love that movie.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that they never went back to it.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's got notes from the movie. It's got some. It feels a little bit like just a tiny bit like a Lion, a Witch, and a Wardrobe type thing, and then the other thing is
not your mother's basement, guys.
I know we got some stomping kids upstairs. The other thing I'm watching, I mentioned Silicon Valley. I'm kind of like not into it. And this is coming from someone who loved the
I know
series.
You did. You talked about it all the time.
And then last, and certainly not least, Rick and Morty. That show, season 4, it took a long time, and the creators got really, really beat up for it taking so long. But it's a great show. Love it. Really great show. Do you watch it?
No.
Fuck, man. You got to watch that show.
What is it, on Netflix or something?
It's on Adult Swim.
What channel is that?
Adult Swim is like Cartoon Network.
No.
Dude, watch that show, man. If you like Big Bang, watch that show.
All right, I'll watch it.
All right.
You got to remind me, though.
Yeah. I'll ping you. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me. Oh, just a couple more things in video games. They come.
I want to talk about my shows.
Real quick, Vader Immortal Episode 3, which is the 3rd version of the VR game for Star Wars. It's going along with the theme. We just got done talking about Mandalorian. Gotcha. Awesome. And then Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order comes out.
I heard that looks
November
good.
15th. It came out November 15th.
They're actually praising that like it's the Star Wars movie we should have had.
Yeah, and
Star Wars video game they should have had.
And I don't know. I think I'm going to buy it, but I might disappoint the wifey if I buy it. It might take one thing off the Christmas list. So.
Yeah.
So that's it for me. What do you got?
I've been watching The Man in the High Castle
That's right.
last season.
You're a loyalist, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's still not bad. It's pretty good. It's just for me, it's fine. But I could see where people who aren't as big in the sci-fi kind of like supernatural,
both on the two big cylinders that really is in your wheelhouse, man.
It is
history and sci-fi.
It is, but how far can you go with that? I mean. But it's enjoyable. I watched 3 episodes so far. There's, I'm going to finish it out because I want to see the end.
Yeah, you got to.
Then I also watched a movie called The King on Netflix.
I just started that on the flight back from Ohio.
It's not bad. It's about Henry V.
Yes.
And I didn't know, and I Googled it after the movie, that he only lived 9 years. He only was reigned for 9 years.
That's it. And he was a pup when he took on the crown.
Yeah. And it was like, I guess because Shakespeare made a show, a written play about him. That's why it's been so big over the years.
Do you think
it's good though? It's not bad. It's good.
If you're living back then, man, you want to be loaded. You know what I mean? You want to have.
But it's fucked up though, man.
I don't want to. I like
the one scene you'll get to it where like Henry seems like a good dude, and he is a good dude, but he just flat out stabs somebody. The guy's like begging to him, and he's just like. Because the guy betrayed Henry, and Henry, he's like, I did it all for you kind of thing. And Henry, I read it.
Like you betrayed me, Fredo.
Yeah. But it wasn't a kiss. The guy's like begging to him, and he just pulls out a knife and just stabs him right in the head. And that's it. It's just like, I don't know, man. But it was good. It was good. It was just.
Pretty merciless.
Yeah. It wasn't like, though, that they put Henry in a light like he wanted to do it. He just felt like he had to.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to make a big drawn out. And he was enraged, but it's just good. It's a good movie. I recommend.
That's a Netflix, right?
Yeah, you're Netflix. You're watching it, so I recommend anybody to watch it. So I think it's good. And we both talked about The Watchmen. We're chowing down on that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also like The Blacklist, but I think The Blacklist for me last season. I think I'm just powering through. Yeah, it's not bad. It's last season, but it's like. I've dedicated 6 years of my fucking
closure.
Fuck yeah, man! I'm due closure. Yeah. I want to know who is the number one on the list. It's probably him, but I want to fucking know. You know what I mean? I want to know how it works all into everything. Fuckers.
No, that's sweet. Anything else?
Nah, it's, nothing else I'm watching right now that's off the top of my head.
So I'll tell you what else I'm looking forward to.
The Watchmen?
No, the
Witcher or whatever?
That's not where I was going, but yes, The Witcher.
There's a lot coming out in the next month and a half.
Yeah, Witcher's going to be out December 20th. And
Expanse, season 4.
Expanse, I just saw an article with Thomas Jane, so I'm looking forward to that too. And it looks like they got they're not playing around with sci-fi money anymore. They're playing around with big money.
Oh, Amazon money.
Yeah.
Sci-fi money is like peanuts.
Yeah.
No, it's not even peanuts. It's like ants.
Sci-fi is your drunk uncle, and this is Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah, you're fucking right, dude. And especially consider Jeff Bezos loved the show. Supposedly.
Yes.
That's why he picked it up. He picked it up.
That's some
The guy got stepped in and said, fuck it. We're doing this.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's awesome. I love even though I wish I had that kind of money to do that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
What the hell,
Game of Thrones, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it and rewrite the last season. Fuck it, people will love me.
This is called F-U money. What do you mean you can't do it? F-U. Watch me. All right, on that note, thank you, everybody, for joining us for this week's episode of the Nick, John, and Jamie Show. As always, please be sure to subscribe to our show. We're on iTunes and Google Play. We're also on Stitcher and Spotify and YouTube And if you're really digging the show, give us a 5-star or a kind review. You can also follow us on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the Instagrams for @NJJ Show. And if you're on the old school Facebooks, search the Nick, John, and Jamie Show and follow our page. We do post from weekly when we post an episode. And Thanksgiving is coming up. So as I'm thanking you, thank everybody that is in your family and friends and social circles, and enjoy the rest of your week, and make sure it's awesome.